I'm reading Bud Not Buddy by Christopher Paul Curtis. I chose the book because it looked like a good book and I never read it before, so I figured why not. The book met my expectations because it was, I don't know, it was just a good book and it didn't let me down. I probably wouldn't recommend the book because it's kind of like an immature book and I don't know if it's good for a sophomore in high school. The major point or theme of the book is that you should probably, like, everybody should deserve a second chance no matter what. Because in the book, Bud got kicked out of multiple houses and stuff and never really got a chance to live until he found his dad. I chose to research the topic of homeless people because the main character, Bud, was homeless the majority of the book. The insight I gained from this book is that there's a lot of nice people in the world. And I would read another book by the same author.
It's TJ Harlan. My book is Artemis Fowl. And I chose this book because I like fairy tales, and I guess that's it. This book did not meet my expectations. I wouldn't recommend this book to any other student because I really didn't like it. I couldn't find like the theme of this book. It's like moves around a lot. I couldn't understand it. I didn't do the research paper, so I didn't gain any insight to this book from this book, and I wouldn't read any other book from this author.
I'm Brandon McCall, and my book is The Life You Imagine, and I chose it because I like baseball, and it's about baseball, and I like the author, and the book did meet my expectations because I thought it had a really good story, and I would recommend it to another student, but they would have to have the same likes as me and like baseball. And the major point or theme of the book is if you work hard and have dedication, then you can accomplish anything. And my topic was Kalamazoo, Michigan, because the person that the book was about was from Kalamazoo, Michigan. And what insight did you gain from reading the book was that, again, if you work hard, then you can accomplish anything you want. And yes, I would read something by Jack Hurry, the author.
My name's Ferrari, and I read the book Pain Grows a Platinum Rose by George Morrell. I chose the book because my dad told me to read it. It's about Philly, some little kid, Carmen. He grew up, and he was in and out of prison. Yeah, the book met my expectations because I liked it. I would recommend this book to another student that likes the same stuff that I do. A major theme to the book was stay out of trouble. I researched Philly because that's where it took place. I don't know. The insight that I learned was that not all people are bad. I would read a book from this author.
The Kaminsky, and the book I chose was The Sixth Sense. I chose it because I seen the movie and the movie was good. It met my expectations because I liked it, just like the movie. I would recommend this to another student if they like the movie like I did. The major point or theme of this book is don't give up. The topic I chose to research was South Philly. And the insight I gained on this book is to be a better person. And I would read another book by the same author because they did really good on this book.
My book is Someone Like You. I chose it because I never read like a love story before, It didn't meet my expectations. I thought it would be better, but it like started off really slow. I would recommend it to another student if they like love stories. And the major point of my book was that no one can stop you from loving who you want, no matter what. I researched teen pregnancy because the girl in the book got pregnant when she was like 15. The insight I gained from reading the book is that like life as a teen is really hard, and having a best friend there is like really important to get you through it. I wouldn't read another book by the same author, but I would read it on the same topic.
My book was The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. I chose it because I really enjoyed the movie and other books by him. I met my expectations because it was like the movie, but it had more to it, so you learned more. I would recommend the book to other students, especially girls who enjoy reading love stories. I would say the theme of the book is that you can't judge someone by just how they look. You have to get to know them first. I researched stalkers because in the book, the main character, Ronnie, has a guy who like follows her around a lot, and it reminded me of a stalker. I learned that you shouldn't judge people by how they look, and I would read other books by the same author.
My book is The Magician's Nephew. I chose it because I like magic. I guess it met my expectations because I didn't really have high expectations for it. I wouldn't recommend it because it's kind of a childish book. The theme was that all things are possible. I chose to do my research on Criss Angel because he's a magician. The insight I gained was that maybe magic is real, and I would read another book by this author.
My name is Yami Rivera, and my book is New Moon by Stephanie Myers. I picked this book because I love stories. I love reading. That's the only kind of book I read. This book is about falling in love, but I would recommend people read it who love story. And what I learned about this book is don't fall in love with someone who doesn't love you back. And I read a lot of books about Stephanie Myers too. Where I research, it was about vampires because I want to know more about it, like a lot of stuff about them. And this is my book.
My name's Tom, and I read Something Wicked. I chose this book because I wanted to read The Never-Ending Story, but they didn't have it in, so I found this one about mysteries and like love and killing, and the book met my expectations. I would recommend it to anybody who likes mysteries and likes to laugh a lot. Major theme in the book was that some of the people that you trust the most actually stab you in the back in the end. And the topic I researched was the Scotland Games. And I learned a lot about the Scotland Games throughout the book, and I would read something by the same author and the same topic.
Okay, now sit.
I'm Allison Rahuba, and the book that I read was What Comes After. I chose the book because my friend recommended it to me, and she said it was a really good book. The book did meet my expectations because it made me want to keep reading. I would recommend the book to someone else because it gives you a life lesson and it's really good. The major point was not to give up and to keep your head held high even through the hardest things in life. The topic that I chose to research was orphanages. And my insight was to not give up. And I would read another book by the same author.
My name is Monica. This is the book I chose, Soul Searching. It's by a number of different authors. I chose this book because the title sounded interesting. I would recommend this book to another student who was like interested about spirituality and like the Bible and different religions, because that's what it talks about. The major point of the book is like spirituality and different religions. It talks about a number of different religions.
My name is Grace, and I chose It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vanzini. I chose the book because a lot of my friends told me that it was really good and there's a movie that I wanted to see, but I wanted to read the book before. The book met my expectations because it was just really good and I didn't expect the ending and I wanted there to be a twist ending. I would recommend it to other people because it's just a really good book, and if you saw the movie, it's different than the movie, and I think it's better than the movie. A major point in the book was that the whole theme was that you're not alone in whatever you're going through. The topic that I chose was all the different disorders and stuff that all the people had in the book in the hospital. I gained a lot of information about the different kind of diseases that people had and what they go through. And I would read another book by Ned Vanzini, and I'm working on one that he's wrote. So.
Okay. Yeah.
My name is Mike, and my book is called The Book of Myths and Misconceptions by various authors. And I chose this book because I am interested in popular conspiracy theories and popular pop culture rumors and getting to know the truth about all these things. And the book definitely met my expectations because there was a lot of information in here that I thought was previously true, and it turned out it wasn't. And there were some things in here that actually validated my beliefs. I would definitely recommend this to somebody who likes to learn about things that people just don't care about or don't know about, because this information can be really useful. The theme of my book was don't believe anything that you hear just because it's widely believed, because it can still be wrong. I chose to research further information on specific stories like the JFK assassination and the origination of where they got the term for the Oscar awards, which I thought was interesting. Insight that I gained from this book was just so much, because there's just so much information in there. And the JFK assassinations was probably the most interesting one that I got to learn about. And I would definitely read another book of the same topic. I love this kind of stuff, and I like to read this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
My name's Steph. I read Wuthering Heights. I chose this book because it was a classic. My friends were telling me about it. The book did meet my expectations because it was really good, and I didn't finish it, but I plan to finish it really soon. I would recommend this book to people who are into like dark romance, but not really. I wouldn't recommend it to a lot of people. The theme of the book was that love never dies, because that's what the whole book was around. I researched more about the author and her siblings and her big family and why she wrote the book. The book taught me to appreciate everything, like never take anything for granted. And I would read another book about this author. She wrote one, if she ever did.
My book is Echo Burning by Lee Child. I chose my book because my grandfather recommended it to me, and it seemed like a pretty good book. The book did not meet my expectations. Kept jumping back and forth to different storylines. I wouldn't recommend the book to another student because it kept jumping back and forth and it got very confusing in like the middle. The major point of the book was like abusive relationships and like what would someone do to help someone in abusive relationships. And that was the topic that I researched, was abusive relationships. I gained more insight about abusive relationships and like how people like help each other, and I would not read another book by Lee Child. It was a very bad book.
I'm Brian. I chose the book Double or Nothing. I chose it because I like gambling and making money easy, and it's just fun, something to do. The book met my expectations. It kind of showed why you shouldn't get addicted, and it was like a fun read, kind of like followed a kid's life around. I would recommend this book to another student if they're addicted to something or they like gambling. The major point of this book, I guess we could say, like learn like a life lesson, not get addicted to something, mess up in your life. I chose to research gambling addiction because the guy in this book was addicted to gambling and he needed to fix his life at the end. Great knowledge came from this book because I don't want to destroy mine like this kid did, and it'll help prevent myself from messing up. I wouldn't read another book by this guy because it just wasn't that. I mean, it was a good book, but I don't like the way he wrote. And I would read something of the same topic because I like gambling and making money.
I'm Steve. My book is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I chose it because it's an investigation of a murder of a neighborhood dog. The book did not meet my expectations. I would not recommend it because it's too much detail and it just goes nowhere. I would not read the same topic of the author.
I'm Melissa, and my book is At First Sight. I chose this book because my sister read it and she told me that she really liked it. This book did meet my expectations at some times, but in the middle it was really boring. I would recommend this book to a girl because it's about relationships. The major point in my book was that no matter how bad you think something is, the outcome might be worth it. I researched about the author, Nicholas Sparks, because most of his books that he writes are really good. And I would read another book by Nicholas Sparks because mostly every book I read by him is really good.
Jason, my book is Thomas. I chose it because my mom recommended it to me. The book did meet my expectations. It was actually really, really good. I would recommend this book to anybody because it was very suspenseful and you didn't know what was going to happen next. The major theme of this book was perseverance. The topic I chose to do my research on was ghosts. The insight I gained by reading this book is not all people are bad. There are good people out there in the world. I would read another book by the same author because I've read a couple of Dean Koontz books and they're actually really good.
My name is Morrell and my book was The Last Dog on Earth by Daniel Enright. I chose the book because it looked interesting and looked good to read. The book did meet my expectations because all I was looking for was a good book to read. I would not recommend this to another student because it was worded really weird and sometimes it didn't keep my attention. The major point of the book was to how there's someone out there for everyone. The topic I chose to research was dogs and the diseases they can get. From the book I learned that a lot of dogs can get more diseases than humans can get. And I would not read another book by this author because of how he worded it.
My name's Dana and my book was Dear John by Nicholas Sparks, and I chose it because I watched the movie and I want to read the book, and it met my expectations because I thought it was better than the movie. I would recommend it to people if you like love stories. And the theme of the book was follow your heart and what you feel is right. My research topic was about the author, and the insight I gained was long-distance relationships and like how they don't work out most of the time. And I would read another book by this author because it was an easy read and I liked his style of writing.
I'm Justine and I read the book Unbelievable by Sarah Shepard. I chose this book because I liked the TV show and I thought I would like the book too. It met my expectations because I like the show a lot and the book was even better. I would recommend it to someone else, mostly girls who like drama and suspense. The major point of it was to don't keep lying because then they just get caught up somewhere. The topic I researched was about the author, and the insight I got from it was no matter what, tell the truth or it'll all come back to you. And then I wouldn't read another book by the author, and I plan on reading the rest of the sequel.
Tyler, my book was Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I read this book because I read the first book, The Hunger Games, and this was the second book in the series. It met my expectations, and I would recommend it to another student because it has a lot of stuff that teenagers like adventure and action. The major theme was that one small lie can turn into many. I researched the author to see what other books that she did, and I didn't really find any that I liked. I learned a lot about how government control is bad, and I'm going to read the last book of the trilogy, so I will be reading something else by the same author.
Alright, I'm Mike, and the book I chose was Travel Team by Mike Lupica. I chose it because there's a little kid playing basketball on the cover, and I like playing basketball. The book did meet my expectations because, well, it blew past my expectations. I thought it was kind of going to be boring, but it really wasn't. I would recommend it to another student as long as you like basketball. The major point to the book was to never give up. The topic I chose was height in the NBA and in basketball and how important it is. The insight I showed is even if someone tells you can't do something, it doesn't mean to quit. You should always keep trying. And I would read another book by this author.